Hey guys, it's MJ from All to Love. How are you? I hope that this day finds you filled with love and grace. I just spat on your face. You guys know what this is. This is all about the love vibration all over the place, not just across the niche, but definitely when we're in the meditation. Do you know when you get that moment where you're like a little bit annoyed at the sound of your own voice? That just happened to me. So I had another request from one of you lovely viewers, and asking about the intuition and how do you tell the bloody difference between just like random thoughts in your head and intuition. So I've been sitting with this for maybe 24 to 48 hours because I've done so many, not so many, but I've done quite a few shares about the intuition, and I talk about the intuition in the Fearless Life Guide as like a thing that we're all meant to tune into because the intuition basically wants the best for us. As beings, we have so many kind of wonderful and beautiful lessons to learn when we come into form, and we choose this aspect of creation. Hello, Nicole. So, and then I remember this is actually highlighting like when I was actually writing the book. Hello, Gypsy River Woman. When I was actually writing the book, I remember having that moment of like, there's such subtlety in energy work, right? And there's a difference between intuitive guidance and resistance. Or intuitive guidance that wants to like protect us might feel a little bit like resistance, or especially when we're dealing with different people's points of attractions and different people maybe wanting different things from us, we can get really kind of sidewired in appearances versus just the simplicity of our inner knowing. And it is a bit of outworking. So I guess part of the guidance that I want to share with you today is that intuition is more often than not like a feeling, a knowing inside. Now, for me personally, intuition speaks in words actually pretty rarely. Because for me, as soon as there's thought form, there's usually going to have to be a lot more discerning of where the thought form is coming, and whether it's mine, whether it's my ego, whether it's like whether I'm holding on to something, whether I'm afraid of something, so there's always a little bit of inner work to work out, like, is this right? Is that someone just wanting to take something, or am I supposed to go in that direction? Whereas for me personally, there have been not loads, but there's been probably a few significant moments in my life where it was just undeniable. Intuition was like, you've got to cut this person, or you've got to take this leap. And it was scary, and more often than not, I did lose everything. You know, I lost everything I'd built, everything I'd created up to that point. But intuition was like, but you got to go this way. And what traps us when we're guided or when we're working with intuition, I would say, is more the ego and the mind, expectation. And when we have expectation, or when we're trying to hold on to something, we keep pushing the intuition to the side, and or we think it fucked with us. We think it's taken us down the wrong path. But every moment on our path, there is stuff to learn. And so even though at first glance the intuition basically led me down a path where, yeah, woohoo, Molly, you published a book, but you lost some friends, and you lost your partner, and you lost your home, and you lost a whole bunch of other shit too. And yet, I can honestly say now, I can see why. Like, there was valid and valuable learning on my personal path, that all of these things had to unfold for me just to be in the here now with you, right? For me to be able to continue to express authentically. So, you know, don't be hard on the intuition. Don't like fucking intuition guiding me. No, 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 no. Keep listening and keep grounding in and keep dropping in, because again, personally, intuition is a lot more like this feeling and sensing and the knowingness of your beingness, which is you. And very more often than not, I would say intuition has nothing to do with your external circumstances. So intuition isn't about us getting more money or, you know, finding a partner. Intuition is literally like the aspect of our higher self or five-dimensional self, whatever you want to call it, the broader aspect of self, merging with this finite self to infuse this finite reality with a greater harmonic frequency, with something broader, bigger, more bold. So in a sense, you could say the truth of our intuition doesn't care about the small stuff. It's not concerned about the minutia, which our often small mind gets hooked into. Plus our small mind tends to want to like control everything and know exactly how and know the process, because then I can tell everybody what the process is and be a little bit better than everybody, and I can have all the answers. So to me, intuition just completely is beyond and deeper than all of that, and it's only ever in the present moment. And that's why it continues to I don't know, create this sense of inner work, discernment, discipline, you know, diligence. I don't quite know how it's come to pass, but I do. Suddenly I think, wow, this is my life. You know, like I meditate a lot. Like yesterday, I have no idea how long I was meditating, but it was deep, mofo lovers. It was right here, and it was just, I don't know, hours. Maybe less, maybe only like an hour and a half or something, but it was necessary to go that deep. And it was necessary also to continue to have clarity for you guys, as far as, yeah, intuition is less words spoken. However, in very significant moments in our lives, the intuition will pipe, the intuition will speak very specific words like let go, or go, or leave the situation, right? There will be very specific, but it's not like our normal thought stream. It's like deeper, tangible, visceral, more fully embodied, right? It's undeniable. Whereas if we're coming from a place of trying to micromanage and control the external reality, we've almost stepped on the intuition, because we're so desperately trying to find something, control something, fix something out there. But actually what intuition is asking is go deeper, allow what is to be, just allow it to be what it is. Because again, all beings are connected to source, all beings have their own unique journey. And that's for me, again, where I get a lot of love and compassion. One, because I know love and compassion and forgiveness I have to practice for myself, but also I remember that like a lot of this crazy human behavior stuff in our evolution is us having to shine light on shit, having to shine light on darkness, having to shine light in areas where a lot of us don't want to have to look. We don't want to admit that we're a bit perverted. We don't want to admit that we're jealous. We don't want to admit that we're poor. We don't want, and I do see that in like spirituality and like law of attraction and stuff like that, or not even just these circles, just generally like in the human collective energy field. There's so much shame around our poverty. You know, there's so much, like, and people are afraid to admit it, that they're in shame, that they don't, you know, but they're like, have to hold it all together and have to pretend like everything's okay and have to put a smile on their face because that's good customer service. And for the highly intuitive empath, it like, this is where the world becomes more and more like, oh man, God, things have got to shift. Things have just got to shift, because there's a way through all of this, right? We just haven't yet been able, collectively speaking, to find a dominant love vibration all over the place. There's still resistance. There's still, and that's something I'm having to own and transform and traverse, is like this idea of psychic attack, or, you know, groups of people that want to fix you in one place, and then when you make a change, they just deny you or pretend it doesn't matter, or like you're not support you or whatever. And that's, and like, I'm opening up this window of vision within myself of just really accepting all of it, and at the same time empowering myself to be who I want to be and have what I want to have and shine the way I want to shine, and not make excuses, you know. And straight up, you guys, a big part of the practice is like I hang out and associate with people who we're all responsible, and like something, especially with the monumentalness of the energy shifts this year, especially, quite a few of us are now getting to this point, fairly so, at the end of the year, where we're like, okay, I think we need to stop talking about this now. I think this is over. I think we've completed this. I think actually these people or this situation or this person has had enough airtime, has had plenty of energy focused on them, and enough venting, enough like releasing, and then you just go, yeah, to each their own, loads of love. And then again, that's where, here again, I think it's the contrast of the world we live in telling us that there is some mighty external goal that we're all meant to achieve, and the more I do the work, I'm like, that's not real. we're already it all the time here now. And it's the intuition. Now, bear in mind, when we are in the wholeness of our beingness, when we're truly in our truth, in our signature, in a sense, you could say you are the intuition. You are merged with the intuition. That's what I talk about in the Fearless Life Guide, living intuition, right? So there's no separation. But whilst we're journeying back to wholeness, there will be moments where we go through one path that's like not the intuition, it's a controlled program, it's a mind program, and then there'll be times where it's obvious, like, oh, this is the intuition, again, because it's feeling better, it's feeling lighter, it's feeling more in love, more peaceful. So again, intuition is like feeling, it's knowing. I joke, but it's legit, with Team Love sometimes, because leading up to like the establishing the company and like I had a lot of stuff leading up to that. One of which was like working with a backer or a mentor. And again, this happened a few times, but the intuitive sword spoke. And I said that, I remember saying it to Team Love, like, the intuitive sword has spoken. I cannot work with this person. It's over. Right? And so, and I can't, I'm using words to describe a very physical, tangible, visceral feeling inside myself, where literally it just feels like this big sword of knowing just goes, and then I'm like on a different angle, where when you process emotional storms, you often feel quite different. Your perspective is different. Like, you've definitely shifted some vibration on the other side of an emotional storm, some densities. Similarly, once the intuitive sword comes down, for me, there's like a shape shift building blocks, and I just feel a lot more powerful. I feel a lot more in my integrity, because those are situations that my old paradigm would have run away from. I would have bowed to. I would have been like, that's okay. You can keep lying to my face. That's okay. You can just take whatever you want for nothing. You know, like, basically selling ourselves, like selling our souls. So once we reclaim more of who we are, you could say eventually the idea of the intuition dissipates, because you are the only knowing. So the internal knowing, the intuition, becomes the knowing that you exemplify, rather than what most of us had to do was outwork the external. Like, that was like my earliest awakenings. I just remember hearing this little nudge going, don't do what they tell you to do, and do what they tell you not to do. And that was the beginning of my drug exploration. But there again, you know, sometimes we have to unlearn a whole bunch of stuff to remember who we are. And the remembering of who we are is really just that we are the intuition, we are the guide, we are the student and the teacher, we are the rebel and the mother and the lover and the, you know, so we are all representative of very many sort of archetypes, and at the same time totally unique essence of divine love, grace, and benevolence. I love those words. Oh my God, I just feel so overflowing when I use them. Grace, benevolence, joy, peace, love. You guys, I just love you so much. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I hope that was somehow useful to you, maybe even a little entertaining. I'm about to send a shout out to All to Love subscribers. If you guys haven't subscribed and you want to, feel free. alltolove.com. All the description stuff will be there eventually. And yeah, you can subscribe to All to Love and you can get juicy little updates. I'm not like a sales funnel type of person, by the way. So when you subscribe to All to Love, you literally get messages like when I'm intuitively guided to create shout outs. So like sometimes it's once a month. Sometimes like this month I feel like on it, like I'm gonna send another shout out and it's only been 2 weeks. I'm like, whoa, but it's because we have a lot going on, isn't it? So, oh, and FYI, in case you guys didn't see, look, this is pure zero waste mascara today. Zero waste, vegan, cruelty-free mascara. That is all that I have in my eyes right now. So, I think it looks pretty gosh darn swanky and like the real deal. So, zero waste for the win when it comes to mascara and stuff. Oh, hi Beth Perkins, lovely to see you. I love this platform because some of you I'm getting really kind of like familiar with and friendly with, and it's so nice to like have regular tune-ins and sort of these conversations, because normally it's just me in my bedroom thinking about these cool things, and sometimes random other humans come along and are like, hey, that's kind of cool, I think so too. So I love you guys. Have a gorgeous day, and I look forward to sprinkling love juice. Oh God, these life things, you guys. Oh, but look, there's a little bit of crunch happening on the bottom. Anywho, I'm not gonna bore you with my face, you guys, but I do appreciate you. And hey, Jan Beanie, love vibration. I can't do it with just one hand. Love vibration all over the place. I love you guys. Have an awesome day, and I'll speak to you real soon. Peace out, mofo lover.